Hey guys, Stag here. Welcome back to my vlog, which this is the third episode of where I talk about art things, being an artist, and art in life, or whatever. So today, I've been kind of racking my brain on what I was going to talk about, and this is something that I think about often, and it's more on a personal level, but I'm not going to get that personal with it. It's more of like a opinionated observation, and with me today is me painting on my painting In Her Hair. So, as an artist, I have realized that it takes a good deal of socializing. I, on the other hand, lack these basic skills. This is a common problem for artists, nor do they really like to talk about themselves. This video may not apply to you in the least bit, but over the years I realized I attracted a certain audience with my art and people that identify with it. So it might. It's really hard for me to articulate things, but I'm gonna try. I think it can be important to talk about artists' struggles, and sometimes it may feel like you're out in the middle of the ocean and it seems easier for everyone else but you to kind of make it back to shore. Everyone's different, but often artists are kind of loners. To a degree, the introspection can help with the creative process. I'm always thinking, and I'm not obviously great at words, at least not spoken. I believe that a lot of artists crave attention because it is necessary for our survival, or maybe even just the validation. The validation is important because the majority of the career you're probably flying out into the nethers with no idea what you're doing and just winging it, and considering that a lot of people in their lives have been met with a lot of negativity with even just the thought of considering being an artist. There are different routes you can take in your career that might require different levels of socializing. Some artists I know operate more on a physical level, where they go to shows, artist alleys, local events, or even might travel for an art fair. Others operate purely on the internet, like myself. Some might be illustrators. I think when it comes down to it, illustration could be probably one of the least invasive for an introvert. Depending on the route you go, you might find yourself dealing with some of the same people, or possibly just over the internet. So that's always an option. However, you have to get yourself and your name out there in some form. So you still have to do that legwork and the whole socializing and whatever. Some might participate more in a lot of galleries. Galleries have become kind of nice, where you have the option. Not all galleries offer this, but a lot anymore do have the option where you can ship your paintings, and you don't even have to be there for opening night anymore. For all these things, though, they require socializing. To do these things, or to open the doors for the opportunities, you need to socialize and really put yourself out there. So social media is a thing. You can get downright sciencey with it, posting at certain points of the day that it's more likely to be seen. You can look into algorithms. Sometimes it's finding the right hashtags and keywords. It is probably the biggest tool for a visual artist to get your stuff out there. But it requires a lot of legwork, and sometimes it might be like you're screaming to an empty room. You have to just keep posting pretty much. I don't do many physical events anymore. I keep telling myself every year I'm gonna go out and at least do some local things. And it never seems to happen. I normally find myself stumbling over speech, and it's just awkward. I'm just not really great at physically talking to people, because sometimes the questions are just downright weird. So my problems are kind of unique to me, but it is a common problem with artists to kind of have issues with a lot of this, so you might be able to relate in some level. I have heard my entire life that it gets easier dealing with stuff. I'm not entirely sure that I can get better, but I am sure that a lot of people can. It kind of goes against my philosophy, thinking I can't get better if I'm just trying, but it's just the way I feel. Like, I don't know. Like, I opened myself up quite a bit, I guess, over the years with the art, and it's gotten easier to a degree that I am doing it, but it feels the same despite execution. It feels exactly the same for me. So talking about my art, or even me sometimes, can feel downright painful. Several times in my life, I've had to write an artist statement, and it's great, because I get to write about, like, the shittiest person in the world and make them seem amazing. Like, I hate writing artist statements, and it is so awkward. It is so awkward for so many people. That is often a common complaint when people have to do, like, a write-up for whether it's a gallery or an article somewhere or whatever. Like, it just feels like the worst. Like, just even describing your art in general, like, to you, like, it probably makes perfect sense, and then it's like trying to articulate it in a sense that other people would relate to or understand is kind of ridiculous. When someone asks me what my art means, I really, really do not like to answer that. Like, what an individual piece means. It means something different to everyone. I don't necessarily have a certain narrative in mind for a lot of pieces. They operate more on a subconscious level where I'm just kind of painting, drawing, whatever, and just let whatever happens. I can pick out stories or whatever, or what I might be relating it to in my mind fairly easy, normally after the fact, but, like, while I'm doing it, like, it's almost like a blank slate. Like, I'm completely focused, and I'm not really thinking about it. Like, it is mostly subconscious for me, but I probably operate different than other artists for that degree. But to me, they kind of fulfill a scene and tell a story without telling a story. I like a little bit of mystery and obscurity. To me, that is more inspiring, without muddying it up with descriptions and analysis. Like, I don't like that. I do that enough in real life. If some can relate to a piece through, like, a little hole in a window, why would I open the blinds? Even though that is a really creepy analogy, why? I'm sorry if this video feels a little bit negative. I see a lot of positivity when it comes to the art career and how amazing it is, but there is a completely negative side to everything. Wow, I just made things a little depressing. But anyway, art is a business. It is a business, and as any business, there's just bad things. As an artist, you're running a business. Unfortunately, part of the business is selling yourself to a crowd of people, not just your art. And sometimes people in that crowd might be shitty, and sometimes a kindred spirit. Sometimes they may not like or understand what you do, or dislike you. At the end of the day, I really don't have any advice for dealing with it, other than just do it. If art is something you want to do, then you need to have stuff like websites, social media. You need to brand yourself, get yourself out there, and pretty much open up to the world, and just kind of accept criticism and everything else along the way. And you gotta talk and deal with people. You gotta do the legwork in your advertising. Sometimes you have to answer clients, and sometimes you get asked some really, really interesting things. I wish it was as simple as just sitting in a room all day and painting. So this is kind of like food for thought. Some people might be dealing with. It may not apply to everyone or anyone. I don't know. What kind of experiences do you guys have? I've heard a lot of similar struggles over the years from other artists. So I look forward to hearing from you guys. My next vlog, I might talk a little bit about criticism in art. and how to deal with that. Because when you do put yourself out there, you are opening yourself up to critiques. It's not necessarily a bad thing. You're gonna find criticism probably normally with your art. It's unlikely you're gonna go your entire career without someone somewhere hating it. But, well, guys, I'm out. Next video coming to you shortly is a time-lapse video of on planet Lemuria, which is an alien lizard girl. So I will catch you guys in a couple days.